Here we are, finally. We are back with another album review, and this time I'm just going to be reviewing a singular album from an artist's catalog. I'm not going to be doing a collection of albums like I did with Eminem. I might do that again in the future with another artist, but this was a lot more fun and easier to put together because I didn't have to go around and listen to absolute human fecal matter that was Revival. For 17 tracks. This time it was just one album, and I really enjoyed it. I'm really going to be enjoying this music type content. This isn't going to be my main focus on this channel. Nothing I do upload will ever be the main focus. I do a lot of shit. I will always upload a lot of shit that I personally enjoy making, and shit that I have a passion in, and music is one of them. This time we are going to be reviewing an album from one of the greatest artists of all time, no matter what you think of him personally or what you think that, look past everything, look at this man as an artist objectively. Michael Jackson is one of the greatest artists of all time. And I'm not even on no glazing type shit. This is just true. And this time, the album that's in question, the album that is on the hot seat, is Michael Jackson's 1987 album, Bad. When people talk about Michael Jackson albums, the only albums that really come up are Thriller and sometimes Off the Wall. Obviously Thriller comes up because it was fucking absolutely inspirational. It was very heavily, influential, Jesus Christ. Couldn't find the word there, but I found it. Because of the songs, the likes of Billie Jean, Thriller, Beat It, three of the greatest, pop songs of all time, and I love these fucking songs. I love Beat It, Billie Jean, and Thriller. Absolutely. But, these are great songs, and Thriller was a great album in its own right. But Bad is a great album as well. And I think Bad is just as good, if not better, than Thriller. And that's what I'm going to be getting into today as I review this album. There are some very iconic moments within this album. Smooth Criminal, The Lean, the song, the title track, Bad. And, we're going to be discussing all of that, as we get deeper into this album. I listened to this album on the regular a great amount. I listened to this album quite a bit. So I didn't really need to go back and form an opinion on this album like I did with most of Eminem's music, because I didn't listen to it for so long. But Michael Jackson, on the other hand, I listened to Bad, quite a bit. It's one of my favorite albums, so I didn't really need to do it, but I did it anyway, just in case. I went back, listened to all the songs, start to finish, and I documented my thoughts. Like I said, Bad, Smooth Criminal, that is what this album is most known for. Both are great songs, and, we'll talk about them shortly. Michael Jackson, up to this point, has already proven that he's really perfected the art form of the music video. When you see music videos today, all of them are just fucking stupid. Not all of them, but most of them. Most of them are just these dumb, stupid little fucking things that just are just dumb, and they're just an eyesore. That's all they are. But nevertheless, the music videos that Michael made were really just entertaining. They were art in their own form, in their own right. Not even just the music that was in them, but the music videos themselves was a separate piece of art that was, being made, and that was really shown on Thriller, and that still was really perfectly demonstrated on the album Bad. It still holds true. And the song Bad, we'll talk about it now, considering it is the opening album song. It is really catchy, and it is a badass song. Although it's got some interesting lines, such as, "Your blood is mine." It's a sus ass line. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, for Christ's sakes, that line was so awful that it was so bad that it made Prince hop off the fucking track. I mean, but other than that line, if you can look past, the interesting choice of words that he decided to use, It's still a really catchy, and just fucking terrific song. He really shows his vocal improvements over the years within this album, and Bad balances his vocal range with, the soft spoken verses with, that are thrown in with this groovy ass beat that's thrown onto, it, and then it builds up to this testosterone boosting chorus with, I'm bad, it's just so fucking, it's awesome. It's an awesome song. It really is. And within the song, he constantly switches between this, during the verses and the chorus. It goes from, this soft spoken, voice, and then eventually accumulates into this, badass rock star voice, with a little bit more, aggression and viciousness, but still being able to showcase that soft spoken voice at the same time. It's really a great song, and the music video is a fire music video. And if you haven't seen it, you really need to go do yourself a favor and go listen to it right now. And Michael Jackson is dripped out in this music video with the fucking leather jacket and the chains and everything. This fucking drip could fucking cause the earth to flood again. Like, Jesus. Too bad Prince wasn't fucking with the first line of the song, because, if we could have got Prince on this song, it would have been fucking better than it already was, And, like I said, this album really does show Michael's improvements as, a vocalist. And that's really demonstrated very well on the song, The Way You Make Me Feel. It's a very good representation of the improvement in singing that he's undergone. The singing on this song in particular is really clear and beautiful, at times. The beat is not quite as good, it's not as good as the beat on Bad, but the high peak, the peak that, this song hits, are, that the song can hit at times, are it's just so on point. The chorus is fine. It's something really to, rave about, but it's something that isn't unlistenable, like, something that was on, Revival. The song itself, it's just so groovy. Speed Demon, on the other hand, is, it's a good song. It's a kind of a fever dream of a music video, but I do recommend the listen. The vocal harmony on the song is kind of weird, but, the singing, the vocal range, the overall song is, still a great one. It's still the raspy voice. It's a great song. But, then there's also performances where he shows that he can really hit the high notes really, really well, like with Librarian Girl. Also, it's just another fire-ass beat, and the singing is what really carries the song on its shoulders. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. The album has some good features as well, such as, Just Good Friends with Stevie Wonder. Michael and Stevie Wonder's singing complements each other so perfectly on the song. The beat isn't quite as good as the rest of the songs, but, as the last couple of songs that we discussed, those beats were fucking fire. But this beat isn't bad, it's still listenable. The actual content of the song is decent, and it's what makes it one of my favorite songs on the album. But it's still a great song. Nothing. Nevertheless, Another Part of Me showcases another banger-ass beat. Michael's singing is once again very strong on this particular track, but his showcasing of singing on this entire album is easily the best showcasing that he had of singing on this entire album. Is easily, you already know what I'm going to bring up. If you've heard this album and you've heard this song, you know what I'm going to talk about. It's Man in the Mirror. This calming nature of the song is so good. It doesn't lack in any area at all. It immediately picks up as soon as the song starts and gets going. The beat is calming, and it's not overbearing, and it doesn't overpower Michael's singing throughout the song. Most of the verses it has are very very soft, clean. The chorus, might not be everybody's cup of tea. People might not fuck with the vocal harmonies placed within the actual chorus of the song, but it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me much considering just how good the verses are within themselves. The singing that Michael displays on the song is absolutely second to none. And the deeper meaning that this song has is also great. Let's stop talking about this Man in the Mirror. It's a great song, everybody knows it. Let's move on. So far there's been no duds on this album, but I Just Can't Stop Loving You is the one and only song within this album that doesn't live up to the status of the others. I'm not saying it's a bad song. I'm not saying the quality of the song is trash. I'm just saying that, thus far, this is the only song that I would consider a skip. It's very slow paced, kind of like Man in the Mirror, but the singing isn't quite as good, and it's not enough to carry the song on its shoulders. The beat isn't anything too special. The chorus is actually very nice to listen to, but all in all, it's not a bad song, but it's definitely not the song that I like to listen to. I would consider it a skip, and I would consider it the only skip on this album. Dirty Diana, on the other hand, is a great one. It's another great song with a great beat and a very strong vocal performance by Michael yet again. He teeter-totters on this soft-spoken pop singer voice and this raspy type of aggressive voice, yet again, through most of the verses. And it really just it really just shows you that Michael Jackson is one of the greatest singers of all time. And I think this album really does show it. In my opinion, this album has better vocal performances from Michael than Thriller did. I love Thriller. It's a great album, and that will be an album that I will definitely be reviewing sometime in the future or so. Sometime in the near future. But Bad is in some ways better than Thriller. Moving on, we've got Smooth Criminal. Everybody knows Smooth Criminal. It's a great song, great beat. The singing is wonderful. The choruses are the best parts of the song easily. With the you've been struck by a smooth criminal. We never did get to figure out if Annie was okay though. That's the one downside of the song. Back to the chorus. When he begins it by repeatedly asking, Annie, are you okay? And then ending it with, the last, Annie, are you okay? With ending that and then slipping into the actual chorus, it is so masterfully done. It is such a powerful transition. It goes from, Annie, are you okay? So, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? But, it's just such a powerful and catchy chorus. And the music video with, the famous Celine is obviously, iconic and, great. Michael really was a badass in that video, with the white fucking fedora and suit. Clean as hell. And, ending this album on Leave Me Alone, another great beat. This album has some of the best beats I've ever heard. There's not really a lot of beats within this album that isn't just straight heat. Back to this song though, it's kind of choppy at the beginning. In a way, it does kind of start up a little choppy, but it eventually builds up and accumulates into this very catchy and vibey song. The chorus is very good. The vocal harmonies are great in the song as well. All in all, Bad. The album Bad, in my opinion, is so underrated in so many ways. The debate is usually between Thriller and Off the Wall for Michael's best albums. But when talking about Michael's best albums, in my view, Bad is more than qualified to be considered one of his best albums. When I go back and listen to Bad and Thriller, I see that Michael is a much better singer on this album than he was on Thriller. Not to say that Thriller didn't have any great performances. I'm not saying that Thriller isn't great in its own right and it doesn't deserve to be in that conversation. I'm just saying that you can really see the transition that Michael really did step up his game, the transition between 1982 and 1987. Like I said, there's so many beats on this album that are just crazy. The best song on this album, you can pick from a number of songs. I'm gonna go with "Man in the Mirror." Like I said, the vocal demonstration on this album is on this song in particular is just perfect. Like I said, there's only one song that I don't really fuck with, but like I said, throughout this album, this is nothing more than just an album where he sang his ass off in it. That is exactly what "Man in the Mirror" is, and that's exactly what a lot of the songs in that is. Like I said, I just can't stop loving you. It's not even a bad song. It's not terrible, and I can see why somebody would like it. But for me, it is a skip. I would consider it a skip. But other than that, this album is filled with the brim of just straight bangers. 11 songs within this album, and 10 of them are fire. I am in the firm belief that an album doesn't need to have no skips to be considered a 10 out of 10. Because as long as majority of the songs are good, and there's a handful of songs that just, they hit the mark, and, leave some sort of everlasting, as long as there's, songs on the album that, can stand the test of time, like Bad and Smooth Criminal, I think it can make up for a lackluster song or two. But no more than that. And then you might be saying, well, a 10 out of 10 is a perfect rating. Yeah, it is, but in my mind, there isn't really an album you can classify as perfect. The age all saying we strive for perfection, but it's not really obtainable in the end. It's not possible. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's flawless. No masterpiece is flawless. You can pick something apart for anything. You can find something you don't like about nothing. Or about anything. But, that being said, I'm giving Bad a 10 out of 10, despite not having those skips. It's a great album. The next album I will be doing will be between Thriller and Purple Rain. But don't know when that will be, because the next video I want to upload, I want it to be gaming something. I want to get another actual, video with the boys up again. But who knows how long that's gonna be, because it's kind of slow right now. But that being said, this was a fun video to make, and I look forward to making more videos like this.